Before starting today's video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to encourage us to provide the best. 2 summers ago, my mother and I decided to take a vacation to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. After browsing online for a suitable accommodation, we discovered a convenient condo just a short walk away from the beach. Excitedly, we made the reservation and planned our trip. The journey itself was quite arduous, lasting 9.5 hours, but I reassured myself that the destination would make it all worthwhile. Our check-in time was scheduled for 4 in the afternoon, and although we arrived half an hour early, we debated whether to wait or try entering the condo. Impatience got the better of me, and I approached the door, knocking eagerly. After waiting for what seemed like an eternity, I began to turn back when suddenly, the door swung open, revealing a man. He inquired if we were the guests for the week, to which I replied affirmatively, explaining that we had arrived early and wondered if we could enter. With a warm smile, he welcomed us in, requesting 5 more minutes to prepare the place for our arrival. Grateful, I thanked him and returned to the car to share the good news with my mom. After 5 minutes, we unloaded our bags from the trunk and started settling into the condo, which was in excellent condition and provided all the necessary amenities. Additionally, it boasted a lovely view of a nearby pond from the back patio. Exhausted from the long day, we retired early that night, falling asleep promptly. However, at 9 a.m. the next morning, a knock on the door abruptly woke me from my slumber. I groggily answered, only to find the cleaner from the previous day, eager to tidy up. Taken aback by this unexpected visitation, I asked him to return in a couple of hours, explaining that my mom was still asleep. He kindly agreed and left. When my mother woke up, I shared the surprising occurrence with her, and she appeared delighted by the fact that we had no cleaning responsibilities for the week. Later that night, we decided to dine at a seafood restaurant and enjoy a game of mini-golf. Upon returning, both of us weary, I began changing my clothes, taking a moment to remove the mini-golf scorecard from my pocket. As I reached into my suitcase to retrieve my wallet, a sudden realization struck me. 4 out of the 700 bills I had brought were missing. Perturbed, I went to my mom's room to ask if she had taken the money. However, she denied having done so. Concerned, our thoughts turned to the cleaner who had been inside earlier that day. Confident that I hadn't misplaced the money, I decided to report the incident to the condo owner the following morning. The next morning, the door once again echoed with a knock. I glanced at the clock and saw that it was only 8 a.m. Despite the early hour, I opened the door to find the cleaning guy standing there. He cheerfully greeted me, questioning whether he had arrived too early once again. Unsure of his intentions, I responded with a polite refusal, stating that we didn't require any cleaning that day. Closing the door, I retreated to my room to grab my phone and immediately dialed the condo owner. When he answered, I wasted no time in explaining the situation, suggesting that the cleaning guy had stolen $400 from my wallet during his previous visit. A brief silence followed on the other end before the owner responded, stating that he didn't employ a cleaning guy, only a cleaner named Shelby who came once a week between guest stays. A chill ran down my spine as I comprehended that a complete stranger had been freely accessing the condo. Sharing this shocking revelation with the owner, he advised me to contact him if the person returned. True to form, the following morning brought the unwelcome appearance of the same man at my door. This time, I had prepared myself to confront him about his actions. As always, he greeted me casually, asking if he had arrived too early once again. Deciding to feign ignorance, I welcomed him, explaining that I had mixed up my keys and requested to see his. Obligingly, he produced an identical key to the condo. I queried its origin, to which he paused before responding that the owner had provided it. With a stern tone, I warned him that if he failed to return the key, I would involve the police. At my words, he turned and swiftly fled. Returning indoors, I wasted no time in contacting the condo owner, recounting the entire ordeal. He appeared as shocked as I was and assured us of a refund, although he could only replace the lock the following week. Feeling unsafe in a place where an unknown individual had unrestricted access, my mom and I promptly packed our belongings and departed. Unfortunately, we had to settle for a subpar motel for the remainder of our stay. Nevertheless, we felt relieved that we had discovered the truth in time, pondering what else the intruder could have stolen or done had we not made the unsettling revelation. Recently, my wife and I embarked on our honeymoon trip to Florida. Our plan was to spend the first week in Fort Lauderdale and then drive to Miami for the second week. The initial days were fantastic as we enjoyed the tranquility of a sparsely populated beach. However, after the first week, we decided to stay in a 5-star hotel in Miami to immerse ourselves in the vibrant nightlife, exploring various restaurants and bars. One fateful night, just before our scheduled departure back home, we visited a bar called The Lost Boy. There, we encountered another couple who were also on their honeymoon. Engaging in conversation and enjoying a few drinks, they extended an invitation to their errand, boasting a pool and a hot tub in the backyard. Despite our early morning flight, our intoxicated state led us to accept their offer. Upon arriving at their stunning errand, which appeared to be a step away from being a mansion, we continued our merriment indoors and eventually ventured to the pool area. As fatigue crept in, my wife and I expressed our intention to head back soon. However, the other couple insisted we stay longer and indulge in a few more drinks. While they continued to drink at the bar area, my wife and I retreated inside to gather our belongings. Suddenly, the couple burst into the house, visibly upset, demanding to know the whereabouts of the wife's misplaced purse. Perplexed, we denied any involvement and offered to help search for it. Angrily, the husband agreed, and my wife and I returned outside, leaving them in the kitchen. We shared our confusion with each other, acknowledging that we had not tampered with the purse. Despite our thorough search around the pool and bar area, the purse remained elusive. As we ascended the stairs to re-enter the house, we observed the woman who had supposedly lost her purse ascending with her purse in hand. This realization sparked laughter between my wife and me. Upon opening the door and stepping inside, we were met with the enraged gaze of the husband, while his wife descended the stairs in tears, still claiming her purse was missing. My wife spoke up, reminding them that the wife had carried her purse upstairs. However, the woman responded with accusations, calling us thieves and demanding its immediate return. In a shocking turn of events, the husband brandished a gun, threatening us to either reveal the purse's location or compensate for its contents. It became evident that we were caught in a dangerous setup. Struggling to devise a plan, my wife interjected, questioning why they would subject us to such a situation. We emphasized our desire to leave peacefully, but the man's aggression escalated as he pointed the gun at my wife, warning her to be cautious with her words. Knowing that my wife's purse was in the car, I intervened, claiming that we needed to retrieve it outside. Reluctantly, he agreed, insisting on accompanying us. As my wife led the way out, I remained close behind, desperately seeking a way to escape. Seizing an opportunity, just as we reached the doorway, I swiped the gun from his grasp, taking him by surprise. Slamming the door shut, I toppled one of the large statues near the entrance to impede his pursuit. Urgently, I called to my wife to get in the car, swiftly starting the engine and speeding away. We raced back to the hotel, consumed by fear from the night's events. It was undoubtedly the most terrifying experience of our lives. However, we were immensely grateful to have escaped unharmed, cherishing the relief that washed over us. Every year, I enjoy taking my family on a vacation. However, due to our busy schedules, my wife, kids, and I often find ourselves not spending enough quality time together. As a tradition, my wife and I choose a new destination each summer. This year, after hearing great things about Cancun, Mexico, we decided it would be our vacation spot. Although neither of us had been there before, We were excited to explore this beautiful place based on recommendations from friends. After booking our trip, we took a red-eye flight to the resort. Upon arrival at the airport, we arranged for a taxi van to transport us directly to our destination. Our driver, Carlos, greeted us warmly, and we embarked on the 30-minute drive to the resort. Despite his limited English, Carlos engaged in friendly conversation, discussing our careers and plans for the week. It was late at night, and the darkness outside made it difficult to see the surroundings. However, I caught glimpses of small houses and businesses as we passed by. During the journey, we encountered several turns, which became a bit confusing. Nevertheless, Carlos assured us that he knew the way. As we traveled down a long one-way road, we noticed a car driving ahead of us at a slow pace. Within moments, it abruptly turned to the side and stopped, blocking our path. Suddenly, a car emerged from behind us with its lights off, pulling up right behind our van. Carlos seemed oblivious to the situation, so I alerted him about the car behind us. His expression turned to panic as he realized the gravity of the situation. Alarmed, I asked him what was happening, but before I could comprehend, the doors of the cars in front and behind us swung open. Several masked individuals emerged, shouting in Spanish and running towards our van. In an instant, chaos unfolded, with my wife and kids screaming in terror, and I myself overcome by shock. Reacting swiftly, Carlos shifted the van into reverse, colliding with the car behind us. He then veered onto the grass, attempting to bypass the vehicle blocking our way. As he did so, we heard gunshots ring out, intensifying the fear in the air. Carlos urgently instructed us to duck our heads, while he accelerated the van, maneuvering skillfully around the obstructing car. We ended up in a ditch, compelled to take this desperate route to escape the attackers. For a few heart-stopping seconds, the van spun in the muddy terrain, but miraculously, we managed to regain control and return to the road. Our relief was short-lived, as we knew we were not yet out of danger. One of the tires had been punctured by the gunshots, causing the vehicle to shake violently as we sped away. Determined to reach safety, we headed straight for the resort, aware that there would be security personnel outside to assist us. Throughout the ride, my wife and children continued to cry and scream, a heart-wrenching reminder of my inability to protect them in that moment. As Carlos explained, it became evident that we had encountered a gang attempting to harm us, and we were incredibly fortunate to have escaped their clutches. The two cars tailed us from a distance until we pulled into the resort, at which point they finally retreated. Stepping out of the van, I surveyed the bullet-riddled side and rear, a chilling testament to the danger we had narrowly escaped. Overwhelmed with gratitude for our family's safety, I gave Carlos the majority of the cash I had in my wallet as a token of appreciation, though it felt insufficient in comparison to the life-saving act he had performed. Despite the ordeal, we proceeded with our vacation and managed to enjoy ourselves. However, we made a point to schedule our return trip to the airport during daylight hours, ensuring a safer journey. Carlos's quick thinking and adept maneuvering had undoubtedly saved our lives. We will forever be indebted to him for the selfless courage he displayed in that harrowing situation. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and sharing it to support me. The best is yet to come.